Hi, I'm Rachel. I own and run Guide Falls Farm with my husband Matthew and our two gorgeous girls, Regan and Nora. We're about 13 minutes outside of Burnie, so on the beautiful sunny northwest coast of Tasmania. And yeah, the fact that we have a waterfall just 400 metres down the road means that people can make a day of it. They can come up here, pop the kids in the car, they can visit the waterfall on the way. It's a beautiful spot down there with the river always flowing. We've had the farm for about 6 years. And in that time, we've welcomed countless visitors to the farm. We love showing people what farming's all about. Our background, we actually aren't from Tasmania originally. We've hailed from the mainland. I met my husband in Canberra and I grew up in and around farming, I guess, in Victoria. But I've sort of been watching my grandparents and parents do it. And this is the first chance I had to have a farm of my own and really put my ideas into action about how I wanted to do things. So I'm actually a fully qualified lawyer. My husband's a fully qualified mechanic. So farming wasn't sort of the path that I thought that I was going to go on, but it was the path that kind of forged itself, and there was no other way to go, I guess. I was working in Canberra for the Australian government as a lawyer up there and just writing this great environmental legislation. But the swings of politics meant that things happened really slow, or things that were a great idea might not have eventuated. And being that I really saw that there was a big impact that sustainable agriculture could have for the environment, for the people, for the quality of what we were eating and the quality of life of the animals that we were working with, there was just so much potential there to showcase things, and I felt like sitting in an office wasn't my opportunity to do that. We started doing small events just for the locals to test the waters, and they were such a hit that people could come out with their family and have such a great afternoon, listen to local bands, eat food that was from the farm, and just have a really good afternoon. We thought, okay, we're onto something here, we need to expand. And the feedback that we were getting was, this is fantastic, we want more of it. Which is where the idea of grazings was born. So we've had that as 3 years in the design phase. We were building for the last year. Right through COVID and the recession, we forged ahead. We knew that it was the right thing to do, even though the timing probably wasn't the greatest. But having a restaurant on site with a commercial kitchen and a butchery, we have a playground attached to the restaurant as well. I joke with parents that we actually built the playground for them, because there's not many places that you can go on the northwest coast where the parents actually have a really good time, because they can just relax and enjoy lunch and a bottle of wine. So yeah, I'm a parent myself, so I know what it's like to go out for lunch and the kids are climbing all over you, or the menu's not great for kids, and you really want to go somewhere that engages everyone in your group. And one of the things that I often tell people is you don't need to trust our marketing claims. We don't have to write something on a box or make it pretty. There doesn't need to be a pretty picture, because you can come here and see it for yourself. You get to experience it. And a part of that experience, when you come up here, you may come up for lunch, the kids have a play. You can spend an hour walking around the entire animal park and meeting all the animals. Most of them have been hand-raised. We've been bottle feeding a lamb recently, and customers just love getting engaged with that side of it. We've also just started up our behind-the-scenes tours. So this is for people that really want to get in with the animals and learn the story and really do a deep dive into how we do things here. Lend a hand. They might be collecting eggs from the chickens or feeding out the pigs. And it's an experience that I took it for granted as a kid, that when you grow up on a farm, doing all the farm jobs in the morning is just part of your daily chores. But for other people, it's something they might do only once in their life. So creating those moments for people to engage really closely with animals, I think is a great way for them to really respect what animals go through, or what it takes to have a market garden and grow food, and have that in a way that they just understand that rich story behind it, and the fact that they're humbled by what it takes to create food and to have amazing food on your plate. It's all about celebrating that paddock-to-plate story and what's the freshest. When it's summer, we get tomatoes. In autumn, we might have apples on the trees. So we may have apple pie on the menu. I really like that linkage with the seasons. And in winter, times are a bit leaner, so you have to use your stores of food that's out on the plate. I think it's a really good thing for people to be educated about, that things just aren't. You can't get mangoes in the middle of winter in Tasmania. You can't grow them yourself. They're not going to be on your plate at grazings. I think that's good for people to be aware of. Also in our restaurant, and where we want to go forward, is we only support other small Tasmanian local businesses. Drinks are Tasmanian, all the food comes from here. And I think that's really important because, as you know, especially right now where there's not that many tourists coming on board, having local businesses supporting other local businesses is critical to everyone succeeding and getting through a really tough time, especially for hospitality and tourism. And also we produce the best quality stuff probably in Australia, if not the world, of produce. So I think supporting Tasmanian businesses is just the best thing that we can do for our customers. And I think the Northwest Coast, because of our climate and rainfall and farmland, there's the opportunity for people to try a really rich array of things that we produce here. I've travelled all around Australia, all around North America and Asia. And when I come home to Tasmania, the rolling green hills, the fact that it's green in the middle of summer. There's not many places that you can go to that has this rich farmland, and it's really diverse. You can have a dairy farm up the same road that you have beef cattle and chickens that are laying eggs. We've chosen the Northwest Coast because I feel like it's going to be the epicenter of agritourism in Tasmania, if not Australia. I often joke with customers about being part of our family because when they visit here, we welcome them with open arms and we want them to feel just like family on our farm.